Of 9 funerals was held in the United States just a little more than a week after a gunman stormed a black church in the city of Charleston, South Carolina. At the funeral for the church's pastor, the President of the United States spoke not just about the pastor's life, but about a lot more. CCTV's Jim Spellman is in our newsroom with details.
Mike, President Obama turned this eulogy at a funeral into a major speech on race relations in the United States. For the first time, U.S. President Barack Obama spoke at the funeral of a victim of racial violence.
To the families of the fallen, the nation shares in your grief.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
When Obama, the first African-American president, was elected, hopes were high that he could bridge the lingering racial divide in the U.S. On the internet, alleged church shooter Dylan Roof posted a racist manifesto.
He surely sensed the meaning of his violent act. It was an act that drew on a long history of bombs and arson and shots fired at churches, not random, but as a means of control.
Roof posted pictures with the Confederate flag. Obama says he supports removing the flag from state capitals.
For many, black and white, that flag was a reminder of systemic oppression.
Obama spoke of the history of racism and its ongoing effects in the U.S., where communities continue to wrestle with relations between white police officers and black citizens, and deep economic differences remain between black America and white America. White households have an average net worth almost 13 times higher than black households. African-American unemployment is more than twice as high as the number of unemployed whites.
For too long, we've been blind to the way past injustices continue to shape the present. That's right. Perhaps we see that now. Perhaps this tragedy causes us to ask some tough questions.
Those questions won't have any easy answers, and the president didn't propose any new plans to deal with issues of race, but in word and in song,
amazing grace.
He used the pulpit to call for change.
The sound.
President Obama warned that changes in race relations won't come overnight, but that this tragic shooting and the outpouring of emotion that's followed can inspire Americans to begin making real changes, Mike.
Jim, let's talk a little bit more about this alleged gunman in the Charleston church shooting. He was apparently inspired by some racist hate groups he came across on the internet. Is this a growing threat as well?
Well, it's certainly a changing threat. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, that's a nonprofit group that monitors these hate groups, the number of these groups in the U.S. has actually declined for the third year in a row, down to 784. That's the lowest level since 2005, which is good news. But while the number of groups has been falling, more and more of these extremists, the so-called lone wolves, seem to be using the internet to connect without formally creating or joining groups. So the threat remains, but it may actually be getting harder to detect.
Jim Spellman from our newsroom, thank you.